Thank you, everybody. Well, good afternoon. You know, this occasion is usually reserved for great news about our community, but our community was shocked and saddened last week by the tragic events at Austin's Bar and Grill. Our hearts go out to the family and friends of co-workers of Srinivas Kuchibhotla who are suffering this senseless loss. Srinivas was a specialized engineer at Garmin whose very presence in our community enriched us, and he will be missed. We pray that those in mourning will find comfort in the outpouring of love and support across our community. We are very grateful today to have with us Srini's friend, Alok Madasani. Thank you, Alok, for being here. Alok, Olathe loves you. We also recognize Ian Grillett. Ian stood up for strangers and nearly gave his life for them. Ian is truly a hero. On behalf of the city of Olathe, I offer our deepest thanks. Thank you, Ian. I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we struggled a great deal with how to proceed with today's meeting in light of this recent event. You know, Olathe has a great deal to celebrate. At the same time, our community is still reeling from last week's tragedy. But we know that event does not represent who Olathe is. What this tragedy has showed us about our community is that it reaffirmed who we are. It showed that our strength is our different origins, melded into this compassionate, inclusive, and united community. It showed how we come together by the thousands to offer our prayer, support, and love. We mourn together, we grieve together, and most of all, we remain united. No act of evil will divide us. We will never allow hatred and bigotry to stand, and we remain one Olathe. And so today, we are going to celebrate our shared sense of community and our shared achievements while thoughtfully and prayerfully remember those who are mourning. At this time, I'd like to welcome my family, Maria, my wife, my daughter Olivia, my daughter Abigail, and my son Joshua. They're all playing hooky at the same table with our superintendent, John Allison. Our new superintendent, I should say. I'd also like to thank our Chamber's Board of Directors and CEO, Tim McKee, and then my team on the City Council, Jim Randall, Mayor Pro Tem and Ward 2 Council Member, John Bacon, Council Member at Large and State Board of Education Member, Ron Reichman, Council Member and State Speaker of the House, Larry Campbell, Ward 1 Council Member and State Representative, Wes McCoy, Ward 3 Council Member, and finally, but not last, the mighty Marge Vogt, Ward 4 Council Member. Thank you, team. You may already know this. Olathe is celebrating its 160th birthday this year. History tells us that our founder, Dr. John Barton, was a land speculator. He rode a horse to the center of Johnson County and staked 2 quarter sections of land as the town site. He later told his friends the land was beautiful. As the story goes, he asked Native American interpreter how to say beautiful in the Shawnee language. The interpreter's answer, Olathe. Throughout our beautiful city's 160-year history, change has been constant. Back then, and still today, it's been driven by an unquenchable desire for quality and excellence, an unremitting striving to do more and be better. Warren Buffett said, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Numerous leaders and citizens have planted trees over the decades of our history. Many of them are laid to rest in the rolling hills of the 29-acre Olathe Memorial Cemetery, which was recently listed on the National Register of Historic Places. We are the beneficiaries of our predecessors' wisdom. During this milestone year, we cannot forget the strong sense of civic pride and dedication of the many who came before us, and we must not abandon their mission. Their foresight laid the stepping stones for the city Olathe has become today. That long ago vision, coupled with the commitment that infuses present-day leadership, is behind the accolades that have come our way this past year. Here are just a few. Olathe was named a gold-level certified healthy KC organization. We're also ranked number 11 of America's best cities to live, the top city in Kansas to buy a home, and the number 1 happiest city in all of America. So we won many other awards last year too, and you can read about those in the handout that's at your seat. So we're healthy, we're happy, and I think that's a pretty good place to start. But we have no intention of resting on our laurels. We know that cities will change more in the next 10 years than they have in the past 100. As we stay on top of that shift, you can be sure our number 1 priority, ensuring your safety and high quality of life, will never change. It's true what Jim Collins says in his book, Good to Great. Greatness is not a function of circumstance. Greatness, it turns out, is largely a matter of conscious choice and discipline. Let me tell you just 4 ways Olathe has demonstrated greatness this past year through discipline and an unyielding commitment to purpose. Number 1, Olathe issued more than 500 single-family residential building permits last year, more than any other city in Johnson County. Nearly 90% of our homeowners say they will buy their next house in Olathe too. That's not happenstance, it's an outcome of our values and purposeful efforts to create excellent schools and an incomparable quality of life. Number 3, we maintain the city's prestigious AA+ bond rating with both Standard & Poor's and Fitch. That rating recognizes our long-term debt burden and superior flexibility in controlling both revenues and expenditures. Olathe is, though, not only financially strong. Our citizen survey shows that we remain in the top 5% in the country for customer satisfaction with quality of city services and value received for tax dollars. Number 4, your city council approved exciting master plans for Cedar Lake and Lake Olathe parks. Both projects' first phase will include foundational work like water, sewer, electrical extensions. Lake Olathe's initial improvements will also include a new marina, a swim beach, a botanical garden, and a spray ground. Even those initial changes are incredible, and other additions will be made over time. When the projects are done, there won't be anything like it in the entire metro, and I'm excited about that. We placed renderings of these projects in the hallway, so as you leave today, please take a look at them. Number 5, our solid waste program has America's highest satisfaction rating. Yes, we're number 1 in trash. Last year we added almost 500 new customers, new households. who came to Olathe, but we generated an aggregate of 77 tons less in residential trash compared to the year before. Our recycling rate is the highest in the region and well above the national average. Now let's see a show of hands. How many of you used Olathe Public Library last year? I know you did, Joshua. Our city's libraries are our treasured resources. As technologies advance, like cities, they are evolving. Last year, we got an opportunity to upgrade the Indian Creek branch when a water main flooded the library building. This was one of those times when something good came out of something bad. The city responded by purchasing a building that will house our new Indian Creek branch. When that branch opens in a couple years, you'll experience the outstanding evolution of libraries in the digital age. You'll have access to a high-tech, state-of-the-art gathering place that will be a beacon of learning, information sharing, and entertainment. Very, very exciting. You know, these last few years have been difficult ones for law enforcement. Olathe is profoundly blessed by the brave men and women who serve on our police force. Our officers put themselves on the line every day to protect you and me. And that's a stunning gift that we must never, ever take for granted. It's the reason Olathe is one of the top 10 safest cities in America. The latest Benchmark Cities survey confirms it. That survey includes 30 of the highest performing mid-sized cities across the country, the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Among those cities, Olathe has the second lowest felony crime rate, the third lowest violent felony crime rate, and the second lowest felony property crime rate. Beyond that, our police department regularly reaches out to our community to promote unity and a greater understanding. These initiatives include new National Night Out neighborhood activities in partnership with the Olathe Human Relations Commission, and community forums co-sponsored with the Olathe Citizens Police Advisory Council and the Olathe Teen Council. The department also began Coffee with the Cop this year, so residents could have informal, one-on-one conversations with police officers at Olathe's restaurants. I'm equally proud of our community members who spontaneously championed our local officers immediately after the police tragedies in Dallas, Baton Rouge, and KCK. These citizens started the Olathe Citizens Showing Their Love Facebook page. Schools, businesses, and families signed up to fill every day of the year celebrating our Olathe Police Department. Yes, we do. You know, this outpouring of support and gratitude wasn't driven by the city. No, it was the instinctive response of citizens to recognize a police department that has intentionally built relationships and trust over the years. Our nation certainly has a lot of work to do to rebuild harmony. But here in Olathe, the positive result of law enforcement and citizen unity is clear. To the valued members of the Olathe Police Department, especially the command team sitting right back here, thank you so much for your support and all that you do for our community. The successes I've highlighted are made possible by remarkable city employees who are singularly dedicated to serving this community with excellence. But remember, we still aren't satisfied. We'll continually build on our history of transparency and accountability and heart to better serve every member of this community. That's why you'll soon be hearing more about the What Works Cities initiative. After a highly competitive process, Olathe is one of only 60 cream-of-the-crop cities in all of America selected to participate in this nationwide program. Olathe will partner with global experts, including Bloomberg Philanthropies and Johns Hopkins University, to share best practices in data performance and analytics. Our selection validates the city's commitment to continue holding ourselves accountable and for engaging citizens and making better decisions. Having access to these outstanding resources will help us use data to work smarter with taxpayer dollars and better engage you, our residents. Even more than before, we'll focus on improving our service delivery by identifying and investing in what works. We'll especially look at ways we can implement open data to strengthen public access to information. We took another big step in that direction this year with the launch of olatheks.org. Our new website uses the latest and greatest technology, and you can access it no matter what device you're using. But what's most important is that we designed it with businesses and residents in mind. We asked Olathans what they wanted most from the new website, and the result is a highly interactive, customer-focused site. As the city continually works to improve the quality of life for our citizens, what a wonderful partner we have in the Olathe Chamber of Commerce. Among many other accomplishments, the Chamber supported the ongoing work to revitalize downtown Olathe. The Chamber's Convention and Visitors Bureau held several highly successful food truck mania events. You know, those things drew more than 10,000 people to downtown Olathe throughout the summer last year. We deeply value downtown as the heart of our community. Our continued commitment to downtown revitalization is unwavering. We're delighted to be working in partnership with Johnson County on the new courthouse that will be built in downtown Olathe. Now, that's not exactly what it's going to look like, but it's a good idea. We foresee downtown Olathe as a multifunctional business district and a destination that attracts local and regional visitors. To make that dream a reality, Olathe is launching an update to the Envision Olathe plan created more than a decade ago. We urge you to visit envisionolathe.com and take the citizen survey to help us develop a shared vision for the future of downtown. What you just saw was the highlight of the, oh wait, we need to see this.
Attention skyward.
Okay, so that was the highlight of the largest and most exciting groundbreaking in our city's history. The flyover for the expansion at Garmin. Garmin International, our largest private employer, broke ground on a $200 million manufacturing and distribution center that will expand its headquarters by 720,000 square feet. When it's completed in a couple years, that expansion will make room for another 2,600 workers, almost double the number of employees who work at Garmin today. And their HR Vice President, Lori Menard's here. You're going to be busy, Lori. Olathe Medical Center broke ground on its new 25,000 square foot cancer center, the final piece of its $100 million expansion project. The cancer center's opening in early 2018 will allow OMC to offer cancer patients the latest in treatment technologies and to serve them in a single location. Economic growth is certainly changing our community and our skyline. New investments like Main Event, Menards, and the largest data center in Johnson County have come onto our tax rolls. It stands to reason that dynamic and thriving Olathe, one of the fastest growing cities in the nation, also would be a place of choice for growing businesses. Working together, the Chamber, the Economic Development Council, and the city of Olathe saw nearly 900,000 square feet of new space and 400,000 square feet of infill on existing space last year. That represents a private capital investment in our community of more than $411 million. That's a lot of money. And then just this week, High Power Systems announced its plan to move its entire operations to Olathe. That relocation includes all 36 local employees who will be joined by 75 employees over the next 5 years. That company's investment, which includes a brand new 515,000 square foot manufacturing facility, will be in the neighborhood of $40 million. And that's just in the first year alone. We are thrilled to welcome High Power Systems to Olathe, and today they're represented by President Rafael Acosta and Chief Operating Officer Samuel Silva. Welcome, gentlemen. As I think about the visionaries who came before us, those who lead our city now, and all that we have to look forward to in the future, I'm humbled and very, very grateful. Many of you know that each year we recognize certain people or organizations as cathedral builders. Today, it's a great privilege to recognize 2 Olathe cathedral builders whose vision and passion for this community have contributed so greatly to who we are today. You know, in the life of any city, it's rare to have a citizen who dedicates his or her life to preserving the community's history. But in Olathe, it's blessed to have 2 of these once-in-a-lifetime cathedral builders. They are Olathe's dedicated historians. I'm referring, of course, to the beloved husband and wife team, Bob and Lila Courtney.
It's an honor to know you and call you my friends. While serving on the Olathe City Council, I very quickly learned of your passion and dedication for the historic preservation of the Olathe Central Core neighborhood and downtown Olathe, as well as now your continued efforts to preserve and protect these historic areas. Bob has been a longtime member of the Mahaffey Foundation Board. He worked very closely with Greg Sheffer in the filming and production of the Olathe City Beautiful series, which continues to be filmed and produced to this day. In 2007, we celebrated Olathe's 150th birthday. Many years of planning went in place for the events that happened throughout that year, capped off by the USO show. Bob's knowledge of history was so very important in the planning of all of those events.
Bob and Lila Courtney have a passion and a commitment for this community that is second to none that I've encountered. They care about the beautification, the restoration, the care of what we presently have. They inspire others to become active in their community. They model community service. With their passion and push, we've got homes that have been restored. We have a heritage center second to none. We have an authentic working farm from the 1800s that Bob was very influential in. The main benefit we get from Bob and Lila's work is the fact that my children, your children, our grandchildren, and even our great-great-grandchildren will be able to observe what it was like back in these days, what we did different than what they're doing now. Their desire and their goal at whatever they do is to make Olathe the best community to live in and raise a family.
Bob Courtney is the face of the Olathe Historical Society in Olathe, Kansas for at least the last 20 plus years. I call him the idea man. It was his idea to publish a book along with the Kansas City Star, George Bauer, about the history of Olathe's first 150 years. He and Lila have given so much of their time to make Olathe well known throughout our state. He is just an inspiration to us all. We look forward to the board meetings because he's always got something new to say and some new idea to give us.
As I think about the both of you, I think about the wonderful partnership that you have. You are a role model for so many individuals because you know how to do teamwork and do it well. Where there's Bob, there's Lila. Where there's Lila, there's Bob. And we're very fortunate to have that kind of inspiration in our community. Lila, I've gotten to know you for many, many years as an educator in our school district. You were everything that is second grade. Not only were you a wonderful classroom teacher, you are a wonderful building leader, and you are a wonderful district leader. You are still teaching, just in different avenues now. You have given over 30 years as an educator. Bob, you are a wonderful librarian in our school district. Then your career took a little bit of a turn. You became the first energy educator in our school district. If we need to know the name of a school and how it changed over time or when it started, we get a hold of Bob Courtney. Not only are you a historian for the school district, you're a historian for the Olathe community. We are so appreciative of everything that you have done for the Olathe Public Schools, for the Olathe community. You are rich in the hearts of so many.
Bob and Lila, your dedication and support and love for our great city of Olathe, City Beautiful, is very much appreciated.
You are very, very special people to all of us. You deserve this, and I say congratulations to both of you.
Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for being cathedral builders.
Bob and Lila, would you please come join me on stage? Lila, good to see you. Congratulations. Thank you so very, very much. Where's Dan? There he is. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Surprise us. You came to our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, Jim has something for you. You know, Bob was in charge of energy management, the first person in Olathe Public Schools, and after he was there for a while, you know, classroom lights would go off, and he had some system so the rooms would turn off when no one was in there, and he quickly became known as the Prince of Darkness. When I think of today's second Cathedral Builder recipient, I'm reminded of Nelson Mandela, who said, "There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children." In Olathe, our children come first. We serve a community that understands the importance of protecting and nurturing our youth and their dreams for the future. A community whose public schools provide our students the academic rigor and personal skill sets that they need for productive and successful lives. Our excellent schools are a community cornerstone. Today, we celebrate a cathedral builder that is a tremendous source of their pride and success, the Olathe Public Schools Foundation.
The Olathe School District is known as a great place to educate kids. And part of the reason for that is that we have an outstanding public schools foundation. They've been part of our community for this last 2 decades and are a key partner in this approach to developing a great place for our children to be educated. And it's not just an excellent education for a few children, it's an excellent education for all of our children. And one of our schools, Westview, has primarily families that Spanish is their home language. And in that school, promoting literacy is so important, and helping families support the school efforts and support the literacy education. And so the project there was to provide libraries of books that would be both in Spanish and English, to have parents and others help be a partner in educating their children. For years, the foundation's had an Educational Excellence Award. They've added recently, in the last few years, a CIRA Award for our classified employees. And a recent example is one of our custodians at one of our elementary schools. Tons of letters came from parents and others to say he should be nominated for this award. And Patrick is a great example of someone who does all the things that you want done to make kids feel welcome at school, to make their parents feel welcome, to be respected and cared for, and does everything that he can to ensure that the teachers can do their job and the principal can do hers.
We have a lot of elementary girls who are excited about science and math, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna be a scientist. And then in middle school, we start to lose those girls. And they start to feel like, well, maybe I'm not cut out for science, maybe I'm not cut out for engineering, I'm not that good at math. And so we lose a lot of those girls during middle school. And we were having a conversation one night, wondering what can we do to keep girls interested through middle school. So we came up with this idea of STEM Connection. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Took that to the Public Schools Foundation, and they gave us a $10,000 startup grant to get this program off the ground. We take high school girls who are excited about STEM, and they plan and they lead STEM activities for middle school girls. At the same time, the middle school girls are surrounded by collegiate and professional mentors that we bring in through the community. We could not have gotten this going without the Olathe Public Schools Foundation.
These are the small examples of what a foundation can do, but the bigger picture of a foundation is that it becomes a voice of support for quality education of all our children.
I'd like to ask Olathe Public Schools Foundation Board Member Brian Gary to please join me on the stage and accept this award. Brian? Thanks for all you do. Please make some remarks if you would. Remarks? Yes, let's get it. Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. This isn't about Brian, I'll tell you that. I know Cindy and her team are sitting over there by us, and so thank you. But this is, I would echo, I'm sure she would say the same. This is about this community right here. Without your time and talent, and certainly your treasure, we wouldn't be able to do the things we do to support our great school district here in Olathe. So on behalf of the board of directors at the foundation, I'd say thank you to all of you here that help us meet the need that exists at the school district. So thank you, and this is for you all. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so proud to serve a community where we still honor our history and where every day Olathe schools provide our students a solid foundation, life experience, and tools they need to pursue their dreams and succeed. John Allison, our new superintendent, will be joining us July 1st, but he took time out of his schedule today to join us. Thank you, John. We really appreciate your taking on this responsibility, and we look forward to getting to know you in the days that come. John, you know, in Olathe, you'll find a community that demonstrates its strong support for education by investing in quality schools. Our newest high school, Olathe West, is designed to support 21st century educational practices. It emphasizes flexible learning spaces and the latest technology. This fall, about 2,000 students will be there when Olathe West opens its doors. Go Owls! Consistent with our long-standing tradition of quality education, Olathe Public Schools gets an A+ for student achievement this past year. Listen to this. The average national composite ACT score was 20.8. That's for America. But in Kansas, it's higher, 21.9. But in Olathe, 23.9. It's impressive. Our graduation rate was 93% compared to the state average of 86%. What's more, 81% of our graduates are going on to pursue post-secondary education. And every year, we have a student or two who do something special and unique at the national level. This year,
Mr. Mayor.
hey, you're Sophie Schneider. Didn't I see you on Fox News broadcasting during the Super Bowl?
Yep, that was me.
Oh, Mayor, Sophie's a 7th grader at Mission Trail Middle School. The NFL did a nationwide search for its 2017 Super Bowl kid correspondent, and Sophie, you were chosen, right?
Right. Here's what I did as the Super Bowl's kid correspondent.
Hi, I'm Sophie Schneider here at Super Bowl 51 as the NFL Play 60 Super Kid. It's been an awesome journey, and it all started with a video submission to the NFL Play 60 Super Bowl contest presented by Damals.
I like to try new things to get me moving and motivated.
I finally got to Super Bowl 51, where I did a radio interview.
How do you get your friends to go outside and play?
Well, usually it starts with competitions. I got to meet amazing athletes at the Women's Summit, and I got tips from Andy Dalton.
With Sophie, she's getting a little training before she hands off the ball in the Super Bowl.
I'm Sophie Schneider, this year's NFL Play 60 Super Kid, and next year you could be too. Check out NFLRush.com/Play60. Play 60!
Oh, great job, Sophie. Woo! Is there something that you think you could report on today?
Well, you were talking about how great Olathe schools and Olathe students are, and there was something I didn't want you to miss. Remember how Olathe students won the Scripps National Spelling Bee in 2009 and 2015?
Oh, yes.
Well, this year, another Olathe student is going to the National Spelling Bee. David Lai, a 5th grader at Sunnyside Elementary School, won the Olathe School District Spelling Bee a couple weeks ago. He's headed to Washington, D.C. in late May for the national contest. Now that's a pretty cool way to spell success.
Oh, yeah, Sophie, you're absolutely right. Yes, our schools have so many strengths to celebrate. That unwavering tradition of excellence to build upon, and dedicated leaders and educators who have the passion, creativity, and vision to prepare our youth for tomorrow. What it all comes down to is a fundamental commitment to our children. That commitment isn't just about what we do as a city, it's also about what we do as individuals. Olathe residents have huge, compassionate hearts. Without even being asked, they step up to support our brave men and women in uniform. They volunteer countless hours at local charities. They give back to their neighbors, their places of worship, to our schools in a million ways that hardly anyone sees. This adds inexpressible value to the fabric of our community. We do have a highly visible demonstration of Olathen's enormous hearts, however, with the annual Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund. 21 of our fellow residents serve on the Christmas Tree Fund board. Many of them have given their time and shared their expertise on the board since it was established in 2007. May I ask Chairwoman Lori Tinkler and other members of the Christmas Tree Fund board to stand up and be recognized. They're right over here. Thank you, guys. Every year, the Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund raises money to help the most vulnerable members of our population. Every year, I'm blown away by the generosity of this community. Every year, I'm especially moved by the hearts of Olathe school children whose contributions make up an amazing percentage of the total raised. Sophie, can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Olathe students didn't just make up a big percentage of the total raised for the Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund this year. Students raised money through their annual Pennies for Shoes campaign. And, are you ready for this, Mayor?
Hit me.
They raised $30,550.56. That was $400 more than in 2015, and it made students the top donor to the whole Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund.
Good job, everybody. Olathe students are awesome. Thanks for your help today, Sophie. I think the NFL picked the exact perfect person for their kid correspondent for the Super Bowl.
Oh, thank you.
Good job. And Sophie's playing hooky today with her mom and principal. Friends, as your mayor, there is nothing that makes me prouder of Olathe, Kansas than knowing we deeply value each other. And that means all of us valuing each other. Buildings and jobs are important, of course they are. There's no doubt about that. But if we aren't caring for and supporting each other, those things have far less meaning. Our 2016 Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund goal was to raise a whopping $155,000. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mayor's Christmas Tree fundraising effort didn't meet that goal. No, we exceeded it, and not by just a little. It went up to, ready? $183,567. That is a record, the best raise in the history of the campaign. Thanks to you. That money was donated to 17 local charities, all of whom do extraordinary work. We have so much to celebrate in this community, starting with 160 years of history that have brought us to today. I take pride in a today where we experience tremendous unity. I take pride in a public schools foundation that makes education a cornerstone of our community. I take pride in our fantastic quality of life. And as we've been reminded today, I take pride in the fact that Olathe is a united community of caring hearts. These are the factors that make us so very, very successful. With all those great things to take pride in, we couldn't think of a better way to celebrate today than to invite students from our original high school, Olathe North, to help us. Kids? Wow. You know, I've talked a lot today about the Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund. Obviously, it's near and dear to my heart. It's an effort that shines a spotlight on the compassion that characterizes this great city. The totals raised have gone up year after year after year. That equals a vast array of needs being met and thousands of people being impacted. So, members of the Olathe North Screaming Eagles Marching Band, the Eaglet Dance Team, and cheerleaders, would you help me in celebrating our last big announcement? Just since the Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund was established in 2007, how much has been raised by this community for the children of this community? Woo! That's right, $1 million. We draw on a powerful history, and we look forward to a bright and promising tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of our city is strong. Thank you very much.